Hey guys, it's Nikki, and this is a video. Weirdly enough, it's not really a rant. It's kind of an informational video, a little bit. It's going to be me talking about technology because honestly, that's kind of it's my deal. If you don't already know, and if you don't already know, it's kind of strange. But that's my deal: technology, consumer electronics, video games. It's my wheelhouse. And I feel like I don't have anyone to rant to, so I'll just rant to the internet because someone will listen. So today, this video is going to be talking about the Apple event, which did happen like 3 days ago. And if you don't already know what happened, you probably were doing better things with your life. So maybe you'll listen to me talk about it. And you've probably already heard everything that's needed to be said, but I'm still going to talk about it because I want to talk about it, and I'm just going to talk about it. So watch the video, please. Thanks. On Tuesday, Apple announced their new slate of mobile devices with the announcement of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, and then they also talked about the Apple Watch. Why the hell is it not called the iWatch? I'll talk about that later. We knew what the 6 and 6 Plus were going to look like. They've been pictures of devices have been leaking from China for weeks now. Everyone knew what those things were going to look like. No one knew what the Apple Watch was going to look like. They kept that on lock. No one knew what it was going to look like, and it looks awesome. And I'll talk about that later. But the Apple Watch looks awesome, and it's like crazy what Apple's trying to do in the wearable space. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's start out with the iPhones. The iPhone 6 and 6 Plus obviously replaced last year's 5S, and Apple has kind of bucked the "there's one iPhone for everyone" trend, which they honestly needed to do. Obviously that's not the case. Android phones wouldn't sell so well. There wouldn't be like 6,000 Galaxy devices and 9 billion different screen sizes if that was the case. If everyone only wanted a 4.2-inch device, there would only be one screen size, but actually people want bigger screens. So Apple has known that for a couple of years. They've just been refining it and making it Apple perfect. So they released the 6, which has a 4.7-inch screen, and the 6 Plus, which has a 5.5-inch screen, which is in the middle of phablet territory. 4.7 inches, for me personally, is the sweet spot for cell phones. My Nexus 4, which is, I guess, a 2-year-old device at this point, it has a 4.7-inch screen, and I love it. This is not obviously a good size representation of the overall size of the iPhone 6, but screen size wise, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna feel different in the hand than this phone does, but the screen I honestly think is perfect. You can use the thing in one hand. You don't need two hands to reach the corners of the screen. You can swipe down, get notifications, do everything with one hand, and no one will kill you for it, and you don't look like an idiot trying to do it. The 6S, that's next year, guys. The 6 Plus is enormous. 5.5 inches is in phablet territory. And we're talking like Galaxy Note size devices. And if you've never seen a Galaxy Note, look at how stupid big that phone is. 5.5 inches is crazy. A couple of reporters who were at the event were actually calling the iPhone 6 Plus like the iPad Mini. So if that should just give you a perspective on where in the size of devices that is. It's obviously bigger than the 6, but only a little bit smaller than the iPad Mini, which is this is the iPad Mini, and this is my Nexus 4, which was going to have the same screen size. Just compare the sizes of these devices. So the 6 Plus is gonna be somewhere around here on this device, on the Plus, just somewhere in there. So just think about that, because that's goddamn huge. The screen on the 6 and the 6 Plus are both improved. The screen on the 6 is, like I said, 4.7 inches, and it's 740p, which is basically the same resolution as it was on the iPhone 5S. And it's still got the Retina display. They're calling it Retina HD, so I guess the pixels are a little bit different. The pixel density is still super high. And then the display on the 6 Plus is like I said, 5.5 inches, and it's 1080p. The screens also have increased viewing angles, and they just generally are going to look better. I'm currently working on the iOS 8 review using my using my iPad Mini, and the screen like savers, they're so like obviously generated to make you look at the Retina displays when you're in the store when you get the device and you're like, this screen's fucking great. And then you like go around to your friends like, look at how good this screen is, and it's great, and everyone's like, shut up, you have an iPhone 6. I don't. Get it, go away, please. Just please leave me alone. I'm not eligible for an upgrade for like another 8 months. What Apple says on stage is radically different than what they're actually doing in the labs. Apple on stage for 4 years just was like, actually the sweet spot we've done tests for cell phones is 4 inches. That's not true, and they figured that out when they released a 4.7-inch iPhone. No one wants to do this. No one wants. Hello. Hold on. I'm just taking a call on my 7-inch screen. Hello. Oh, I look like an idiot. Oh, is that? Oh. The FaceTime camera has been bumped up to 1.2 megapixels, and the shots that they showed in the press event looked, from the front-facing camera, consistently looked better that I can take with like my phone's 8 megapixel rear camera, and that's crazy. They have HDR now, which I mean is useful for some people, but it's a front-facing camera, so you're not going to use HDR. And there's also this super cool thing called selfie burst mode, which I mean obviously is necessary, because why take one selfie when you can take 17? Also new on both devices is a new rear-facing camera. There's the sensors are still 8 megapixels, but they've retooled the way the pixels work. They've made the pixels a little bit bigger than they were on the 5S. The 6 Plus actually has optical image stabilization, which is where inside the sensor will move around to track the subject, which results in faster autofocus and less blurry photos if you're moving or if the subject is moving. It honestly makes a lot of sense, because if you're holding a 5.5-inch device and you're trying to take pictures with it, your hands are not going to be perfectly still, so you kind of need as much help as you can get. The iPhone 6, because the display is a little smaller, the entire device is a little bit smaller, it doesn't have optical image stabilization. The 6S will, but it has digital image stabilization, which will be fine for everyone, basically. Also new on both iPhones is the new 8 processor, which is still 64-bit like it was on the 5S, which is great for programming nerds who know what the hell that means. It's 25% faster than the A7 and has 50% better graphic capabilities than the A7 did, and it uses Metal, which is a API within iOS 8, and the games that they were showing look awesome. Honestly, they looked better than they looked on my 360. For like a mobile game, for mobile games, like that's crazy. The fact that we've gotten into devices that are 4.5 inches on their face, or like to the same quality as this friggin' box, is insane to me. But that's where we are, because it's the future. Apple also decided to join 2012 and put some NFC chips in their phones, and also introduced Apple Pay, which I'll talk about in another video, but I'll kind of glance over it right now. Apple Pay, if you don't know, is Apple's attempt at the mobile wallet, which no one has been able to do correctly. And I'll talk about in the video why I think Apple's going to be able to do it right, because it's kind of a thing that needs to be done right. They sold it as a complete wallet replacement, which no one's going to do, because the battery life in these devices is still not there, because Apple is too concerned with making the phones thinner and not concerned enough with increasing battery life. The projected battery life, I guess I'll put it up on the screen. The projected battery life is the same as the 5S, and anyone who owns a 5S or a 5 knows that those numbers are bullshit. Like, just blatant lies. You get no more than... I don't know anyone who gets more than 7 or 8 hours out of their iPhone 5 or 5S who actually uses the thing. So, unless iOS 8 on iPhones, like, has some crazy battery management stuff, there's no way that these devices are lasting all day or long enough to actually have them replace your wallet. But other than that, I mean, I think the iPhones are looking up. So that's the iPhones. It's gonna be pretty cool. Just as a heads up for anyone watching this video, if you've gotten this far in the video, thanks for sticking in. And it's just expect more of this. Expect more of me just ranting about general just general technology stuff, because it's what I like, and it's what I'm gonna try to start doing more and more. So if you like the video, don't forget to leave a comment, a like, and hit that super cool subscribe button, which is somewhere below my face, in relation to where I am in the world right now. And have a good day, night, evening, morning, whenever the hell you watch this video, and do a thing. I don't have a catchphrase yet, so I'm just gonna say goodbye. Goodbye.